Good morning. Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Long Beach. My name is Reverend Lissa, and I'm so glad to see you this morning. It's nice for you to be here. I heard the auction was fabulous, so thank you for all who attended last night. And thank you for all who made that possible, and we're going to hear an update because I've heard that it was a really great turnout. So Tracy's here to update us on that in just a moment. UUCLB is a welcoming and inclusive religious congregation rooted in love, trust, and freedom. And we proudly celebrate our congregation's diversity and inclusion here. Yes, we are a diverse congregation of beliefs, ages, identities, and abilities. So greetings to all who are here this morning. Greetings to our visitors and our newcomers. We're glad to see you. Greetings to our special guests joining us for our social justice collection from the Dream Success Center. And greetings to all who are online. We're welcoming you as well. If you are new here, please do fill out one of our Goldenrod membership forms outside where we can connect with you a little bit more after the service, or use our handy QR code that is on the order of service. Our live services are recorded and available throughout the week, so if you would like to watch, please join our YouTube channel. We're starting to have some goals for subscribing, so how many are subscribers here? Okay, well, we've got a ways to go. Thank you for those people who are. And if you're not, it's real easy to do. So please do subscribe. That's a way that you can help support us offer this service. After this service, please join us for a coffee hour. We're having a really special coffee hour today. There's pick up and pay going on, so lots of wonderful auction items out there for you to pick up. We're celebrating Lunar New Year today. There's a beautiful table where you can taste some of the special foods for this special time of year. And we have some fabulous goodies. So please do join us and mingle after the service today. And of course, our beautiful garden is available for you to spend some time digging in to the earth this morning and making that a part of your spiritual practice. Let's take just a minute to greet one another. Say hello. You can sit in your seat and just wave or get up and move around. We're going to be brief this morning, so let's keep it cool as we say hello. No. Whatever. Okay, welcome in everybody. Let's find our ways back to our seats. We want to also welcome children and youth this morning. We're so glad you're here. And the children and youth will be spending time in here for the lion dance that is coming in just a moment. And then we'll follow the lion to your sessions afterwards, and it's a faith in action today, and we encourage you to join in that. Parents, please follow your kids to register them and sign them in if you haven't. And if you have already, then they can follow the lion and Amy on their way out. Okay, so now just an announcement or two. In recognition of Black History Month, we're offering a common read of Octavia Butler's Parable of the Sower. It should be a wonderful and timely read. So I've got copies up here. If you're interested, they're $20. You can find me right after the service and join in. We have a service on February 23rd that is Octavia Butler themed, and our interim music director, Javon Haskin, has actually written some hymns that are Parable of the Sower oriented. So it should be very special, and we'll have a reading group coming out for you to join as well. Okay, let's have some announcements on the auction and listening circles.
So the lights are pretty, huh? And oh, I'm sorry. I made it here, guys. So before I give you the numbers, which are very impressive and exciting, there is a pick up and pay. If you have not paid, you can pay us. If you have paid or have not paid and paid us now, you can pick up your items. Plus, all the stuff that was unsold will be available. So stuff on the left-hand side, that's all unsold stuff. So go shopping. Joanne will help you with that. Lots of cool things. There's also some of the poster items and live items that are unsold. Come to me. Do not write your name on the board. You won't get it. You have to come to me. Don't write your name on the board. Come to me. Okay, so, you ready?
Yes.
Now, including the fall auction boutique, the grand total of what we earned, gross, $34,607.40. That is a record breaking for the boutique at $5,240.24. So thank you all so much for your donations, your help, your food, your sweat, your money. We really appreciate that too. And help us push that up even higher. Come out and check out the stuff that's unsold and pay your bills. Thank you.
I think Tracy and Mimi need a really big round of applause.
Hi, my name is Edie Mickey Silvera. I'm a member of your Board of Trustees. It's our initiative this year to redo our vision and mission statement. The one that we have is 20 years old. And we want to hear from you to understand what is driving your passions. What do you want to see happen with this community? How do we bring this community outside to our greater, beyond the walls, and affect Long Beach in general? So we have listening circles that have done. We've done about 5 of them. How many have done one? Are they most the amazing thing? You're with a group of people, about 10, and you're sharing just your passion and your love for what is possible. So if you can keep this in your mind, Thursday and Sunday. So Thursday is a listening circle in one of our members' homes. It's at 10 o'clock in the morning. And on Sunday, we actually have drop-in listening circles. You don't have to sign up. So it'll be in the lounge at right after church, 11:30, and we will have some food for you. There's also a listening circle for our youth. Youth, you're going to save us, aren't you? Say yes. No pressure on you. Yeah, we want to hear your voice. Where do you want the church to go? What do we want to do next? What would you like to happen? So anyway, that's a drop-in session for the youth as well. There will be food. So 11:30 next Sunday, and we're going to do it the following Sunday as well. The 23rd. Okay? Thank you very much.
Hey, and finally, I want to offer a welcome to Vivian Howe, who is our guest speaker today, who is a UU congregational leader for over 3 decades. She's an award-winning producer and former TV reporter. She's deep into 20 years plus of anti-racism and justice work for congregations, and we are just blessed to have her joining our congregation today to share her homily and also her film, which will be playing right here after the service. So please do stay for that film, Invisible No More. It's not too long, and so you can get home for the Super Bowl, so don't worry. Okay, and we have Kevin Doe and his Lion Dancers, and we're going to welcome them in just a moment. And so I'm going to invite May to come and join us for the introduction to Lunar New Year. And we have our chalice lighting words from Joanne Pon-Rubin.
Okay. Good morning, friends. Good morning. As you can tell from the wonderful decorations, the energy in the air, that we are celebrating the Lunar New Year. The year of the wood snake. My name is Joanne Pon-Rubin. My Chinese name is Pun Bo Yuk. Specifically, I am a great-grandchild of a Cantonese transcontinental railroad worker. My great-grandfather returned to China after the railroad was completed because he was not allowed to permanently stay and immigrate to the U.S. due to anti-Chinese sentiment and racism. I am also a grandchild of a Chinese immigrant who was a paper son. My grandfather posed as a son to a Chinese person who was an American citizen in order to immigrate to the United States, thus the term paper son. This strategy of immigration was due to the restrictions of the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882. I am in awe of my ancestors who persisted in finding a better life for their families. I am the result of their dreams. And I stand here today to wish you, in my American Cantonese, Gong Hei Fa Choi. Our chalice lighting this morning are words written by Dr. Matangalisi Sanika, and I apologize for the mispronunciation. Unitarian Universalism, at its best, is a transformative agent for justice and liberation and peace in the world, at its best. But it can't do it if it marginalizes humanity. If it leaves anyone out at the table, you cannot fulfill that mission. You cannot fulfill that mission by being partial to some and not fair with all. Justice and equity must define who you are and what you do with who you claim to be. Because it's not just saying what you believe that matters, it's what you do with it. And now, I invite you to join in our unison reading. It's in your order of service. Oh, and it's also up here. And I forgot to say hi to my friends on Zoom. Mindful of our highest aspirations, bound by common faith and purpose, and yet beginning with ourselves as we are, let us take one more step together in our unending quest for dignity, justice, and love. Thank you.
Please remain seated for our opening hymn, Spirit of Life, number 123, and the words will be on your screens or in your hearts.
Good morning. My name is May, and my Chinese name in Cantonese is Yip Siu Mui. In Mandarin, is Ye Xiao Mei. So it's very similar. I'm an immigrant. I came to the States when I was 10 years old in 1988, along with my 16 other family members. So we felt really, really blessed to be here. I had the good fortune of going to college and meeting my husband. Say hi, Tim. Who's from South Orange County, and we blended our cultures and our children. Emily and Allison, say hi, please. So they had the best of both cultures. So we celebrate Chinese New Year with my family in the San Gabriel Valley. And the traditions that we have include making sure that we clean the house, sweep every inch of the house, get rid of any negative energy that may be in the air, and welcome the new year with a brand new haircut, new clothes, and just a positive spirit. Later, okay. So, and as you know, this is the year of the snake. The celebration started on January 29th and lasts about 2 weeks. And the snake, well, actually, first I'm going to talk about why there's so much red. So, in Chinese legend, there used to be a monster named Nian who would go around the villages and scare and eat children during the night. So everybody was super scared. So they tried many different ways to scare off of it. And one gentleman found that red colors and loud noises like firecrackers would scare the Nian away and keep it away. So that's why you see so much red everywhere, as we have here. And the year of the snake symbolizes wisdom, transformation, and growth, which, as we can all see in the last several weeks, that we will definitely need that to move forward. During the holidays, Allison, we went to the San Gabriel Valley Lantern Festival on the screen. She bravely, there were two gentlemen showing off two snakes and daring people to go and touch them. So Allison, with just a little bit of nudging, went up and hung out with the snake. It was also $10 to the Snake Foundation for her to spend time with it. So she was really, really brave and just hanging out with the snake. And I, on the other hand, was more hesitant, you know. So it was a great photo op for Grandmom. Grandmom loved it. But in the last week, as I thought more about the times that we live in now, the need for us to be brave and adapt to the new realities that we're in, we will have to change and adapt. And when I look at Allison's picture, I challenge myself this year to also do things that scare me, push myself beyond my boundaries, and also getting to know people or spend time with people in space that I might not be familiar with. So I appreciate Allison being brave in showing me that. So I hope that we all, moving forward, will need that acceptance and maybe a little bit of grief, but forging forward with adaptability to survive and thrive in the new reality that we live in. And for Allison, her year of the word is adaptable, and her goal at school was to be able to be adapted in any situation. So my goal, and probably collective as well, is to adapt to the new reality and learn and use new skills to forge forward. So, and we are going to get rid of all the negative energy this year and welcome some new energy with our lion dance. So it's Kevin and his team, who I will welcome now.
At this time, any children and youth who would like to go participate in the Faith in Action Project are welcome to follow Amy and the rest of the children and youth out to their classes. Wow. That was incredible. This is our time just to kind of unwind from and absorb. And I mean, wow. I'm just really, that was incredible. I'm so grateful for our guests today. Here we go. So, this is the year of the snake. And so we're going to just focus our meditation for a moment on the year of the snake and its meaning for us. So I invite you just to let everything settle as you have experienced that incredible music and dance and magic. So let us just take a few quiet moments to begin to go within a bit. And in the story of the creation of the Chinese zodiac, the snake was once a four-legged, happy creature who became angry and isolated because of his appearance. And others were had isolated him and rejected him, and so he blamed the Jade Emperor for creating him that way, and his anger began to physically transform him. He grew fangs because of that anger, which worked inside of him to make him begin to snap at others and isolate himself. So word reached the Jade Emperor, who punished him by taking away his legs. The heavenly ruler promised that if the snake won a race competition against the other animals, determining the order and the zodiac, the snake could get a prize and get his legs back. Though the snake didn't win, he placed sixth, impressing the emperor with his perseverance and dedication. And as the tale goes, then the emperor made him one of the 12 animals of the zodiac. This year is the year of the snake, but also the wood snake. And the wood element holds profound meaning across three organized Chinese religions. In Taoism, the sign of the wood is returning to one's natural state or true nature, the inherent goodness within each person. In Confucianism, it symbolizes becoming a better person, clarifying values and principles and sinking down into those values. And in Buddhism, it's associated with letting go for growth, clarifying boundaries, and detaching from harmful patterns and systems. So now I invite you to come into your body and your breath to help anchor you in this time of year that brings new beginnings and opportunities for transformation, and in this time of the world that requires us, as May said, to tap into our own bravery and strength, to shed the skin, to be able to move in new directions, to resist, to defend, and to protect what we love. So if you'd like to close your eyes for a few moments and rest in a meditation, I invite you to do that. And to use that breath to anchor yourself to this present moment and to your own body and your own deepest experience. So let's take just a few breaths to allow ourselves to really anchor into this moment. Inspired by that element of wood, to use our breath to touch our true and deepest nature. Breathing in to remind us of our shared principles and values. Using our breath to deepen our practice, to awaken our power. in some traditions, the image of the snake is the power that is coiled within our bodies that needs to be awakened. Allowing our breath to awaken ourselves. And to clarify and set boundaries and limitations to focus our precious energy where it is most needed. So this image of the snake, shedding skin, rebirth, intelligence, wisdom. Let us hold silence together to go deeper, to reflect personally and collectively on its meaning. Let us go deeper into the silence together. Now invite you to use that breath to come back into our space and become aware of those we are traveling with together this morning, this beautiful beloved community which holds us, brings us strength, and inspires us each week. And we're going to move into our social justice collection today, and we are blessed to have with us Norma, director of the Dream Success Center at CSULB, to present our scholarship and recipients today. I invite Norma and Amada and the other Norma to come up today.
What a wonderful morning to be with you. I'm a member of the social justice team, one of the social justice teams, democracy team here at Cal State Long Beach. No, I'm sorry, UUCLB. And I'd like to, for those of you who might be new, every month, on the second Sunday, we take a collection for a social justice organization in our community that matches with our values. And the Dream Success Center has been our partner for the last 4 or 5 years. And they not only award the scholarship that my colleagues started in my name before I retired because of our work with undocumented students, but also many other assistances that they give students that are much more flexible than just awarding a scholarship once a semester. And for the first time, I've gotten to meet the recipient of the scholarship, Amada, who's going to be speaking to us about her experience. So you have your instructions, I think, on the screen or here. I always want to mention the name of Diane Kurt. When I write my check, it's already written, folks. Some people still do write checks, remember? And you put social justice, February social justice collection in the memo line. But Diane Kurt kept this program going before and made the partnership with Cal State Long Beach. Norma.
We will gladly take Norma back at Cal State Long Beach. Hi, everyone. I'm Norma Salcedo. I'm the director of the Dream Success Center, and I'm so excited to be here and share a little bit about the work that we do. I know I've met some of you over the past 5 years. So our center is dedicated to supporting the diverse undocumented immigrant community that we serve at Cal State Long Beach, and we offer a wide range of resources that support not only the student, but the family as well. And as you know, we are in very dark times right now as it comes to many populations, including our immigrant population, which there's a diaspora, including our trans undocumented students, our Muslim undocumented, our Black undocumented students. There's just a huge different layers that they're navigating right now with all the oppressive methods that are being displayed to demoralize and dehumanize this community. So we're glad that we're here. The state of California supports the work that we do, and we will be here until we're told we can't. So we will stand strong. And I just want to share some exciting things that we've been doing. Thanks to your support, we were able to launch our first ever Dream Success Center Fellowship this semester. And in that fellowship, we provide funding for students in return to do some projects. So we have our first 2 fellows. One of them is going to be doing research and resources for graduate students, and the other one's going to be leading our first ever Immigrant Heritage Month and Women's History Month collaboration. So we're excited that we're providing professional development opportunities to students, and we wouldn't be able to do that without your support. In addition, we're able to fund the Norma Chinchilla Scholarship that Norma shared. So what better way, yay! What better way to share our work and the great initiatives that you are fund than by hearing from a student first, so I am going to introduce an amazing student leader at Cal State Long Beach, Amada, who's going to share a little bit about her journey.
Hi everyone, my name is Amada, and it's a truly honor to stand before you today. To truly share how much this scholarship means to me, I have to tell you a little bit about my journey. So I immigrated to the U.S. from Mexico City at the age of 17, fleeing the gang environment that surrounded me. I moved in with my aunt, who I barely knew at the time. My aunt, Anon, runs a foster home where she cares for babies and teen moms. Adjusting to this new life was challenging. Learning English, dealing with bullying from classmates, discrimination from teachers, and navigating life without my loved ones was challenging. But living with the foster girls changed my perspective. Listening to their stories and supporting them opened my eyes to the impact of simply holding the space for someone else, of truly listening. And this experience taught me compassion and resilience, and it was the first sign that my purpose in life was to create safe spaces for others and help them heal. My academic journey wasn't easy. It took me 4 years to complete my community college because my English wasn't at the college level. The 2016 election brought additional challenges and uncertainty for immigrant students like me. University seemed like an impossible dream, but I refused to give up. Eventually, I transferred to UC Irvine, where I majored in psychology and social behavior. After graduating, I felt I needed more training, so I completed a post-bachelorette in psychological sciences at UCI. And then I knew that social work was my calling. And I applied to the Master's Social Work program at Cal State Long Beach. In my first year, I was fortunate to intern at the Dream Success Center, where I met Dr. Norma. It was one of the most rewarding experiences of my life. My education, lived experience, and passion came together to help me connect with the amazing students at the center. I created interactive mental health workshops, led art therapy and mindfulness events, and facilitated support groups where students could safely share their fears and experiences related to their immigration status. With the full support of Dr. Norma, the director of the Dream Success Center, I was able to expand my creativity and help students connect with themselves and with others in meaningful ways. This experience enriched my learning, but also passion for this profession. As you may know, paying for tuition and living expenses at the graduate level, it's incredibly difficult, especially for immigrants who are eligible for state and federal financial aid. Balancing a rigorous academic program with part-time work and life commitments like becoming a wife was extremely difficult for me. And receiving this scholarship made all the difference. It lifted a heavy financial burden, allowing me to focus on my studies and stay committed to finishing the program. It reinforced my passion for giving back to the community and reminded me that I'm not alone in this journey. Thanks to your generosity, I am now just 4 months away from graduating with my master's in social work. Thank you. I am still a wife, and thank you. And now I'm a mom-to-be. I aspire to become a licensed social worker, helping many people as I can and giving back to the community just as much, if not more, than I have been given. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for believing in students like me. You support truly dreams possible. Thank you.
With that incredible testimony, we are blessed to be collecting for the Dreamer Scholarship today at the CSULB Dream Success Center. And if you can please put on the slide, and as Roy is reminding us, those envelopes are great ways to contribute as well. You can put cash or check in there. Just write your name on it so we can say thank you as well. We're going to start our collection now. Thank you once again. We wish you all the best, and we are grateful to partner with you in this work, and we hope that the congregation can continue to be of service in whatever ways we can. Amen.
If you don't confess your sins, you will burn in hell forever. When the rapture comes and you are not saved, non-believers will be left behind. Everyone who is a non-believer will be condemned to hell, so you need to try to save them. These were the ominous and recurring admonitions of my childhood. I was raised by devout Christian parents who were among the founding members of the Mandarin Baptist Church of Los Angeles. It was a fundamentalist evangelical congregation of Chinese immigrants from Taiwan, which is where I'm from, Hong Kong, China, Indonesia, etc. It was the mid-60s, and the United States had dropped nation-level immigration quotas. So California and other states saw a surge of immigration from East Asia. My parents, like immigrants everywhere, sought a better life for themselves and their children, and they were welcomed here. Unlike the current atmosphere of fear and foreboding, immigrant communities were free to gather and build community wherever they could find it. My family found it in a Southern Baptist church, so faithful and exclusive to the Bible that Chinese pagan rituals were dismissed as backward, superstitious, no ancestor worship, no family altars, no firecrackers or loud noises, and no lion dance. Sad. Well, good or bad, this was my community, my people, and I felt comfortable there because we were all immigrant families. But I couldn't get on board with the fire and brimstone version of faith that was meant to put the fear of God in me. Even as a child, I couldn't buy it. Virgin birth, resurrection from death, original sin, Adam and Eve, heaven, hell, yeah, that was not making sense to me at all, even as a child. But quickly I learned that my skepticism was unwelcome. And I masqueraded as a born-again Christian for most of my life as a youth. In college, I took my first world religion class. Wow, my head exploded. I learned about Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam, atheism, humanism. It shifted my entire paradigm. And I realized that I was not just rejecting my parents' religion, but I was in my own search for truth and meaning, just like you all. The trauma of my earlier religious upbringing kept me from setting foot in any church or house of worship for almost a decade, until I was married and a mother. One day I heard, Mommy, did you know Jesus loves me? And he is the Savior? I panicked. I said, but some people believe that, son, but we don't. It's just a story. But this didn't satisfy him. So, Mommy, what do we believe? I needed to educate him about religion, not just Christian traditions and teachings that were so pervasive in our culture, but about great religions of the world. I had to balance his education in our culture with other objective factual knowledge and perspectives. And I wasn't going to wait until he got to college. This started my search for a place where he could learn about many religions, but not be indoctrinated into accepting any one belief. My friend, Becky Harper, who I knew to be an avowed atheist, said she was taking her kids to the Long Beach Unitarian Church. Yes, I have you all to thank for introducing me to Unitarian Universalism. I'd never heard of this obscure religion. So I looked up the nearest church, First Unitarian Church of Rochester, New York. I was living in the Rochester area at the time, so I drove up one cool Sunday, and I remember being impressed with a large modern building designed by the famed architect Louis Kahn. It was all muted red brick and cast concrete, and despite looking a little austere from the outside, I saw in the interior a natural light that was almost ethereal. No stained glass, no statues of saints, no Jesus dying on the cross. And definitely unchurch-like, definitely not Christian. The sermon that morning, it was about Zen Buddhism. Bingo, I found it, I'm in. Only one problem. In a large congregation of over 400, I was one of 3 Asian Americans, and the others were college age, students without kids. Nearly everyone in the congregation was white, with a handful of black and brown faces, but no one who looked like me. Was I simply paranoid, or had I just been profiled by the nice older gentleman who wanted to know if I was familiar with a certain restaurant in Beijing that he loved? Was I being too sensitive when the nice lady asked me where I learned to speak such good English? It was my introduction to being a novelty. Not an individual, but part of a group. In my California upbringing, I'd never had to represent my people and respond to questions like, where are you from? LA? No, where are you really from? Or worse, I was raised to be colorblind. I don't see race. We're all the same. We're the human race. Had I found a spiritual home only to be required to forfeit my identity, my individualism, my community? Was I a traitor to Asian Americans for trying to fit in with all these whites? Did I have to give up part of me to become one of them? I wanted white people to understand that while I enjoyed feeling special, I did not appreciate being tokenized. I wanted white people to accept me, but not be fooled into thinking that my experience walking around with this face is anything but normal. I was not good at math. I was not a child prodigy pianist. I wanted these nice liberal people who had marched in the civil rights movement and gave money every year to the NAACP to understand that while I knew how to operate in white society, they had no idea what it was like not to have white privilege. Always having to work harder, longer, be better, just to be good enough, just to be normal. But first, I needed to understand myself. Having been raised in a sheltered environment, I had little sense of my social, political, or religious identity. I knew very well how to act white, but it was just an act. Just like when I was acting like a born-again Christian. I set out to learn about my own identity, my racial identity as a Chinese immigrant who had grown up in the United States, someone constantly straddling 2 cultures, 2 histories, 2 identities. I learned that the Chinese were the only group whose migration was expressly banned by US Congress, what May mentioned, a ban that lasted 60 years. I learned that yellow peril and the hatred of slant-eyed devils had deep roots in the labor movement and in the business community. I learned that the US courts had deemed Asians too alien to ever assimilate. Asians were therefore barred from becoming citizens. And even in the civil rights movement, Asians were too white to be black and too foreign to be white. Completely excluded and invisible. A couple years after I joined the Rochester church, I found myself divorced back in LA. And I joined the Pacific Unitarian Church. Maybe some of you know of that church in Rancho Palos Verdes. And I felt like maybe I was finally back in a place where I was not a novelty, because that surrounding community was fully half Asian American. But when I got to church, I saw the same handful of Asians that I saw in Rochester. I could not understand why Asian Americans were not joining. I loved that church, and I wanted others like me to love it too. And it became clear when I participated in the anti-racism program called Journey Toward Wholeness. It was a highly controversial anti-racism workshop that the UUA rolled out in the 90s. I found out that no one wants to talk about race. It requires us to look deeply, beyond our coffee hour niceties and hopeful hymns sung in unison. Most church members refused to attend because they didn't need it. They were already progressive liberals who were never racist. I've gone on for almost 30 years to attend many anti-racism trainings, and I devoured books and videos and articles about racism and identity. I co-founded the Asian Pacific Islander Caucus of the UUA BIPOC group, DRUM. I secured funding for Western New York's first Asian American History Project. I worked for progressive causes relating to race and gender equality in Los Angeles. And I volunteered as a docent at the Chinese American Museum in LA. I worked as a corporate diversity trainer and led workshops. I've spoken and written and thought about internalized racism, institutional racism, white supremacy, almost every day of my life for 30 years. And through it, the nagging question, why were there so few people who looked like me in my chosen faith home? These Asian Americans were highly educated, liberal, progressive. They were UU people. The culmination of my 3 decades of questioning is the documentary film, which I hope you'll see today. It was 5 years in the planning, and I was awarded a grant by the Unitarian Universalist Funding Panel and the Pacific Western region to produce it. I also spent $10,000 of my own money to hire the best videographers, sound techs, editors, and production team. And I traveled from San Francisco to Boston, to Washington, D.C., to San Diego, to Seattle, to interview 4 dozen Asian American UUs of all stripes: East Asian, South Asian, Southeast Asian, lay people, clergy, gay, straight, young, and old. They spoke candidly and eloquently, and sometimes painfully, about what this faith means to them, what brought them here, what keeps them here. I'm proud to share this project with you today, not because it answers questions that you may have, but in the hopes of provoking new questions and discussion, and maybe even some action. At the very least, this film seeks to render people like me invisible no more. In a couple of minutes, you'll see a quick preview of the film. I want to close by saying that I look forward to you seeing the entire 45-minute film after the service. I'm so grateful to be here with you at UUCLB, knowing that you share my passion for creating a welcoming space in Unitarian Universalism, especially for those who are marginalized and seek a safe spiritual home. As we gather to celebrate a new year, may it be so.
Our theology is a pluralistic theology that is grounded in an invitation to engage with diversity, not just celebrate diversity as the cliche goes. And engaging with diversity calls for listening, calls for seeing.
Through Unitarian Universalism, through having this faith community that brings together people from all different walks of life, I've been exposed to people who are very different from me. And I think that these are opportunities I would not have sought out on my own, because it's so much easier just to be with people who are like you. But my Unitarian Universalist faith calls me to something more.
My oldest is in 12th grade. She has her own sets of beliefs. My 8th grader has her own sets of beliefs, and my 3rd grader will develop his own sets of beliefs, as long as we're respectful. And Unitarians have helped us with that.
So, I would consider myself a theological crossbreed, a spiritual mutt, a religious hybrid, whatever you wish to label me as. I think I'm all that and more.
I think there's also a piece of us that wants to be part of a spiritual tradition that stretches across time and space, and that offers us practices, like things to do regularly that connect us with a spirit of love and God and justice larger than ourselves, and a community that holds us, that offers us comfort, and that also holds us accountable.
Thank you, Vivian. I'm now would like to invite Jimmy Brink if he is. Yes, come on up, Jimmy. We're going to close this out with a benediction, and then we'll sing after the benediction, if that's okay.
My name is Jimmy Santiago Daiwan Brink. And I have to say that this is a very emotional service for me. So thank you for sharing it with me. I am a member of this church's BIPOC Fellowship. We meet the second Tuesday of every month. And as it happens, this Tuesday, is our meeting. And it's a hybrid meeting, so if you identify yourself as a person of color, please join us at 7 o'clock. It's hybrid, both in our church lounge and on Zoom. I'd like to point out a few, acknowledge some of our BIPOC leaders. We have so many of them at this church, but Camila Holmes, our chairperson and leader. Max Scott Barron, who will be leading our discussion this coming Tuesday. Joanne Ponrubin, who you met, she did the chalice lighting. All three of these are longtime members that you all know. And then, of course, May Yip, I think she's with the girls now. Anyway, so she's the one who helped design this service. She shared some of her Lunar New Year family experience, and she's the one who brought the lion dance to us. Right? After the service, please join us at coffee hour for our coffee hour, but please hurry back for Vivian's film. And if you are online, please join the virtual coffee hour. We're going to end this Lunar New Year service with the words of Chinese philosopher Lao Tse. This is his peace prayer. If there is peace in the world, if there is to be peace in the world, there must be peace in the nations. If there is to be peace in the nations, there must be peace in the cities. If there is to be peace in the cities, there must be peace between neighbors. If there is to be peace between neighbors, there must be peace in the home. If there is to be peace in the home, there must be peace in the heart. We are called to peace by our ancestors, our community, and our future generations. As we enter this new year, we must nurture that peace to make this a better world, full of hope in new possibilities, a world of peace, a world of joy, and a world of peace for all. Go now in peace.
If you'd like to stay on afterwards and join me for